Hi, today we're going to talk a little bit about the digital video project. I think you will all enjoy this project. Hopefully you'll all learn a little something new and find new and exciting ways to add video to your teaching. The focus of this project will be on creating video for teaching or training purposes or to create a model for a student digital video project. For this project, you will be creating your own digital video that includes your own footage that you have captured. So you will be using a video camera. You need to include approximately 4 to 7 minutes of video footage, and I ask that you hold tight to that time frame. Anything less than 4 minutes doesn't give you a lot to work with in terms of editing, and anything more than 7 minutes gets to be kind of a lot. You'll need to include a title frame at the start of your video and a credits frame at the end of the video. You'll need to include transitions between scenes. You're welcome to add other effects as well, but those are optional. We will again be using the DDDE framework, the Decide, Design, Develop, and Evaluate framework. For the project description, which is part of the Decide phase, your written description needs to include a rationale. Why are you creating this video? You need to include the topic and the audience. You'll need to identify any resources that are needed to complete this project and identify the objectives, the learning objectives for this particular video. How will this video help your students in their learning? Or if this is a training video, how will it meet the training needs of your particular audience? You also need to identify an ISTE NETS for Teachers standards and describe what low-T level will be attained through this project. At the end of the video project, you will complete a reflection, and there's specific information about that in Blackboard as well. In the design phase of this project, you will be using a storyboard to help plan your content. There's an example of a storyboard in our text, as well as some examples I've provided for you in Blackboard. But really the purpose of the storyboard is for you just to be able to plan the video that you are planning to shoot. Identify what kind of shots you'll need, what kind of images, sounds, the transitions that will need to take place between your video, scenes. All of that goes into the storyboarding planning phase of the project. Once you've completed all of the planning pieces, it's time to actually shoot some video footage. And for some of you, this will be very familiar, and for others, this might not be something that you've done a lot of. There are many, many websites that provide lots of ideas and suggestions for shooting good video. Just a couple of basic things to keep in mind I've listed here. You need to shoot with your back to the light. You need to use a tripod whenever possible just to keep the images steady. You'll want to consider a variety of different shots. However, you want to make sure that you don't do too much panning or tilting when you're shooting your video. You'll want to make sure that you shoot extra footage at the beginning and end of every scene so that you have that space to play with when you are editing. The next thing that you'll need to think about is how you're going to edit your video. And again, for some of you, this might be new. Your computer comes with editing software. So if you have a Mac, that software is iMovie, and if you have a PC, it's Movie Maker. I've used both of these, and they're quite simple to use. There are lots of tutorials available for both of these as well. As you are editing your video, you'll need to insert a title frame at the beginning, insert transitions between your scenes, and then add a credits frame at the end where you give credit to people and resources that were helpful for you in creating this project. Once you have finished editing your video, you will need to upload it. We will be uploading our videos to YouTube. Again, if this is new for you, don't be concerned. YouTube has lots of different settings so that once it's on YouTube, that doesn't mean it's going to be available for everyone to see. We can set privacy settings so that we can keep the privacy to the level that you're comfortable with. In order to upload to YouTube, you need to go to YouTube and create an account. The directions there are simple. They walk you right through it. Once you've uploaded your video, it will give you a URL that belongs to your video. You will copy and paste that URL into our wiki, our digital video wiki, and that way we will all have access to viewing each other's videos. The last portion of this project is the reflection piece, and this is where you have an opportunity to think about what you learned in creating this project. What new things did you try? What do you now know that you didn't know before about using video in a classroom? Then you need to talk a little bit about how this video supported learning in the classroom. How did this video provide additional opportunities for your students to learn something, or for your audience to gain something that they may not have otherwise? Then you need to think about the standards, the content standards, and the ISTE-NET standards for teachers that were addressed, and perhaps what low-T level was achieved through this video. You can also reflect on any other pieces that you think were an important part of the learning process through this project.